Good morning, everybody. Look out. I just had an amazing last week in Dallas, and I am supercharged, extra pumped, and I'm not caffeinated, so everybody's safe. Look, today is one of those rare times where I'm actually going to push out the same video to you guys and over to the VIPs because I think that this is an important message for you guys. It really is. I think everybody needs to hear this. So usually I like to do little snippets throughout the week and, do something extra for the VIPs. But you know what? Everybody needs to hear this. Everyone. And what I'm going to talk about today is scarcity and abundance. And what exactly does that mean? And how does it apply with what we're doing in the field of human resources? Now, a lot of people correlate scarcity and abundance to money. And that's normal. And it makes sense, right? When you start thinking about all the bills that are piling up, then you start having a scarcity mindset. And when you start thinking about all the money that you're able to earn, you start having an abundance mindset, right? That's very basic 101 definition of what all of this is. But I want to dig into it a little bit deeper. I want to start looking at what scarcity actually looks like in this industry. And scarcity starts to look like what happens when somebody says no and a manager starts kind of working against you and the CEO isn't buying into what it is that you're offering, or the boss or the owner or whatever. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes in and they've got 13 problems, of which are a lot of drama. And now you're just kind of stuck in this mired, degrading level. And I'm twisting, as you can see it, funk. That's scarcity mindset. Another form of scarcity mindset is when you make a mistake. And I have fallen victim to this one so many times. You make a mistake, and then you feel the pressure from somebody else. And then you start working extra hard to make sure that you don't make another mistake, only to make worse mistakes, because you're so focused on not making mistakes that you actually wind up making more mistakes. That's scarcity. That means that you're not moving forward. You're actually in a position of continual loss. And it's not a good place to be. It's not a good feeling to be in, right? It really isn't. It sucks. Let's face it. When you're in a scarcity mindset, things are not working for you. They're working against you. And whether you believe it or not, you can convert into an abundance mindset. And I'm going to help you understand what an abundance mindset is. Now, I mentioned earlier that abundance, people correlate abundance with money and earning. Well, that's one way of looking at it. But in this industry, abundance mindset is that when you have a manager that comes in or another problem that starts coming up, instead of consistently focusing in on where that is going and how it's going down a negative rabbit hole, then you start looking at it's like, okay, so what do I need to do to move this forward? How do we take the next step? I'm stuck in a problem. Fabulous. What do I need to do to take this to the next level? How do I move forward? How do I get out of this? How do we resolve this? How are we thinking through? And once I get done with that, what are the next levels of priorities that I have to focus in on? What comes after that? What do I have to get to after that? Right? Forward motion. Forward motion gets you into an abundant mindset. If you're doing the work to become more successful, to become stronger, you read, you apply. And those of you that push back and not wanting to read, I'm talking to you. You apply what you learn. That keeps you in the mindset of an abundance mindset, because your mindset is everything. And here's the other really cool thing. And I took this away, and I've heard it before, but it really resonated with me. I think I've probably heard this at least 45 times in my life, but there was just something about this message this time that it just went deeper. And that is, bad things can't exist where gratitude lives. It just can't. Right? So you have a success moment. Take a second and be grateful. Just find something that you're grateful for or thankful for. And it's going to keep you in a position of abundance. Because with abundance comes gratitude. And when you reinforce your gratitude, you reinforce your abundance. But here's the other thing. Saying it isn't just enough. You have to believe it. Because I've seen it and I've done it myself. When I first started working in this, I don't know what, 8 years ago, when I really started focusing in on this, I learned that what was coming out of my mouth or what was in my heart is that there was gratitude. But it was instantly trumped when all of a sudden I allowed a scarcity mindset to come in. And it takes work. It takes time to figure this out. It takes practice to get better. And by no means am I perfect, right? I'll be honest with you, I walked into my sessions in Dallas. I arrived feet on the ground in Dallas with concerns in my head about how I was going to do something. And I was in a scarcity mindset. Within one day, I was capable of converting it into an abundance mindset because I was now starting to talk about what I was looking to accomplish with people and making connections, and actually wound up getting access to the very thing that I have been longing to get simply because I was working in that space. I was networking. I was doing what it is that I needed to do to move this particular segment of another business that I have forward. So what are you doing in HR that's going to allow you to replicate that? When you're in a scarcity mindset, what are you going to do to help get yourself out of a scarcity mindset into an abundance mindset? And when you say that you're grateful for something and you don't believe it, you are in a scarcity mindset. If you say that you're grateful for something, but deep inside, and that little Geppetto that's in your head and that little itty bitty shitty committee that's in there comes back and says, but I don't really believe that, you're in a scarcity mindset. You're not operating in abundance. That's what you have to listen for, is that little tiny little thing in your head that says, I don't buy that. And you need to push that aside. You need to resolve that. That's how you really truly get into an abundance mindset. So there you go. Scarcity versus abundance in HR. Who knew, right? It's all mindset, and your mindset is everything. You manage and control your mindset. You get really good at it. Yes, you're going to have problems. Yes, you're going to get upset. Yes, people are going to irritate you. Yes, people are going to do stupid things. But you know what? Here's the thing. When you're in that mindset, you manage yourself better through it. And how you move forward is being in action. And one of the best ways you can be in action, honestly, in this field, and I'm saying this as a testimony for somebody who has walked this path, is to read HR stuff every day, because it reinforces your capability by not only putting in new knowledge, but also reminding you that you are capable of doing this. You know this stuff. You know how to do it. You know how to move forward. That, honestly, reading HR news every day and updates on what is going on and keeping up with what is happening in this industry will put you in an abundance mindset. It will keep you moving forward. Promise you it will. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.